So here we have my Mastemon deck. This is kind of the competitive thing that I take to tournaments. And this is updated for BT9 as of what I have right now. At the very end, I'll go over some of the extra cards and some of the tech choices I'm thinking about. But let's go ahead and just dive right into this. Starting off with the eggs, we have the 1 Demi-Meramon, and then of course we have the 4 Niaramon. Pretty self-explanatory. If you're looking at this deck, you can run any combination of these, but these are the eggs that I would suggest for it. Now onto the main deck. We have 3 Mochizuki and 3 Kari Kamiya. Kari, I've shown her off before in the profile. She's a memory tamer, and then also if you get anything recovered to your security stack, you can suspend her to gain 1. Mako is new from BT9. When you play her, you can reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add a purple or yellow Digimon card among them to your hand, and trash the rest. And then any turn, both yours or your opponent's all turns, when you play a 2-color purple and yellow Digimon, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory. There's a couple different things that'll come up with this, and it's why I have jumped from just 3 tamers in the deck to 6. But when we get into the other things, you'll kind of see how this plays up and how, or at the very least, why it's pretty good for Mastemon. For the options, if you remember the last deck profile, we have severely cut back. We are just looking at 3 Flame Hell Scythe. The last couple locals I went to, Chaos Degradation was just a bane. It was never really helpful. Sometimes it just gave my opponent advantage in their security stack. And then other times, Reinforcement Memory Boost was just not what I needed at the time. And Flame Hellscythe is the only option card that consistently I want to see, I love to see, either if it's in my security stack or in my hand. This card is consistently saving me, and I may be bumping it up to 4 at some point, but as of right now, these are the only option cards I'm playing. So for the rookies, we have here 2 Candlemon, BT8, 1 Salmon from the Mastemon starter deck, and then here is our first monster or Digimon from BT9, 4 Salmon X Antibody. This can digivolve onto any Salmon for a cost of 0, and then when it's in play and you digivolve, you can look at the top card of your security stack, add it to your hand, and if you do, recovery +1. So just a way to kind of exchange a card in your security stack. Potentially, if it's good. If it's not, you can just kind of leave it, but pretty good card here. And then speaking of from BT9, we have 3 Salmon from BT9. On play, you reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 2-colored purple card among them to your hand, place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So any 2-color card that has purple in it, on play you can search and add it, and then everything goes to the bottom of your deck. And then we have kind of the old stuff, 1 Gazimon and 2 Psychmon, just to help kind of control and kind of stop your opponent from doing too many crazy shenanigans there. So going into the champions, we of course have the 4 Gatomon from the structure deck. These are absolutely glorious. I don't ever really intend on cutting them. Then we have from BT9, 4 Mekumon. Its security effect is at the end of the battle, you get to play it. And then its inherited effect on deletion, if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, gain 2 memory. Almost every single level 6 and 7 we're running now, which spoiler alerts, has 2 colors. So that inherited effect, when you get to your level 6s, comes up, and that 2 memory is going to be nice. But also, that security effect, if it's in your security, and you play it on your opponent's turn, your tamer can suspend to gain 1 memory, and sometimes that can mess up your opponent, sometimes it can outright end their turn, but this is just one of the new ways that we can kind of disrupt our opponent a bit on their turn, this plus the tamer. So the level 5 lineup is still pretty basic. 2 Magna Angemon, 2 Angelomon. I've moved back to 1 of the starter deck Lady Devimons because that's 6,000, as opposed to these Lady Devimons have 8,000. The main difference is that when you Digivolve here, you can discard one to search, and when you discard on, that's the searcher. This one, you just, on Digivolve, you get to draw 2 and trash 2 from your hand. Then, of course, we're still on the 2 Lucilon Chaos modes. I'm still debating on this, not totally sure about it. Most of the time, it ends up giving my opponent way too much memory, but even then, it's good removal, so I'm still a little hesitant on that. But one I'm definitely looking at is this Maycrackmon Vicious mode. So on play or when Digivolving, you can trash 1 card in your hand. If you trash a purple card, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. If you trash a yellow card, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP for the turn. So if you outright play it with something like Flame Hell Scythe or from hand, and you have that 1 Tamer, you can spend to gain a memory, and then you get that funky little effect. It's pretty good. I definitely want to run a couple more of it, but I need to pick up a couple more, as this is the only copy I have right now. So quite unlike the last deck I profiled, we have a lot of level 6s here. Starting off with the newest level 6, 2 Regulmon. So if you don't know what this does, I'll go ahead and center that while I read the other one. On play 1 purple or yellow Digimon card with 6,000 DP or less from your trash without paying its memory cost. If you have 1 or fewer security cards, you may play 1 level 6 or lower Digimon card with Angel or Fallen Angel in its traits from your trash without paying its memory cost instead. So if you play that with the Tamer, it essentially becomes a play cost of 11, so 12. But that's kind of, whoop-de-doo. The other thing, the big effect here is end of your turn, you may DNA Digivolve this Digimon and one of your other Digimon in play into a Digimon card in your hand for its DNA Digivolve cost. So, even if you hard play this, if you have 1 security and you hard play this, recover a level 6 Angel or Fallen Angel, DNA Digivolve into level 7 of the deck, and when we get there, you will see exactly why that is dangerous. Our other level 6s are pretty standard. 2 Ophanimon Fall Down Mode. Yikes, that's a little off camera. Whoops. 2 Ophanimon Fall Down Mode, and then we've got 4 Mastemon. I've updated the art. Ophanimon Fall Down Mode is a Fallen Angel, which works with Regulmon. Mastemon is an Angel, which also works with Regulmon. So if you have any number of these in trash, you can play Regulmon for 12. If you have the Tamer or any number of them, you can suspend to gain 1, and then you can go into the level 7 at the end of your turn, which is Ordinamon. This card is insane. DNA Digivolution 0 from purple level 6 and yellow level 6. When Digivolving, when DNA Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon and all of their level 5 or lower Digimon. For each Digimon deleted by this effect, recovery +1. On deletion, you may trash the top card of your security stack to play this card without paying its memory cost. So if this gets deleted, you can trash the top card of your security stack to play it, and then suspend the Tamer to gain 1, but it's that other effect, right? So again, let's say you have 1 security card and you have 2 memory, right? You have like Mastemon in trash, play Regulmon for 12, put your opponent at 10 memory on play because you have 1 security, bring this out, immediately DNA into this. This will clear your opponent's entire field. Remember, 1 level 6 or higher and all level 5 or lower. And then for every card deleted by that effect, you get recovery +1. I was playing that when I first got the cards, testing everything out, and I swear to you, I got to 9 security cards after going into Ordinamon and bringing it back to my turn. This card is insane, and it makes the deck so much better, especially paired with Regulmon. So at the beginning, I'd also mentioned looking at other cards and funky tech options that I have. Of course, I still have the 2 Agumon Zort Defeat. This card is still pretty good. There were a lot of times testing out when I felt like I saw too often or not enough, just a little wishy-washy, which of course we've flipped with another level 7, but the other one I want to see in hand. So I don't know, I'm still kind of debating on these. I do have a third Regulamon. Just again, I need to test the deck a little more. Of course I have. And this goes for the other ones. I still have multiple playsets of this Angelomon and the Lady Devilmon. And then this was actually a really interesting tech option. This Angemon counts as a yellow, so if you have 3 security and you have it on field, you can Digivolve into the yellow Angelomon or the Make Crackmon Vicious mode, and you'll get recovery +1 through it. It didn't come up a whole lot. Most of the time when I saw this, I didn't have 3 or fewer security, so it was too situational for me. Or I had it, but I didn't. I only had the Lady Devilmon that can only evolve onto a purple. So this is a little weird for me. I took it out for a reason, but you know. The next one, I still have 2 Lucemon, which if I ran these, I would be able to justify the Lucemon Chaos mode a little more. And then I also have 1 more Mako Mochizuki. So I have some options, and I'm going to be doing a lot of testing in the next coming days. So join the Discord if you want to help me test that out. Link is in the description. But yeah, I mentioned at the top of the video that I had some other tech options and things to do with the deck and ways to test it out. So I did want to go ahead and showcase all of those. That wasn't clean at all, but just in case anyone was curious about those. So with all that being said, this is my competitive Mastemon, technically / like Ordinamon deck, since that's the boss monster. But thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I will see you all next time.